Okay, looks like we are on live. All right. I'm going to start letting people in right now. Let's just double check. Yep. All right. Okay. All right. All right, everyone's coming in now. So, all right. Thanks for recording this too. Hey, everyone. Happy New Year. How's everybody doing?
Great. How you doing?
Yeah, nice to see you. Yeah. Yeah. It's the new year. It's been interesting so far. So we're gonna go over what's in store for us in January. So real time. Hey everyone, Renan, and Billy, Jasuri, Dr. Jesus, Ramutef, Amanda, Kelly, Jennifer. Hey, okay. Who else? I don't know who else. Anyway, I think I got everyone for now. So yeah, we'll look at January, see what's going on. This is being streamed to YouTube right now, so that will be there for the replay. So let's share screen here. Screen share. I did some writing already. Let's see what we have here. Is it up here? New moon. Yeah. So we're still in Sag, even though I think people are saying Capricorn, right? I'm not even paying attention to to tropical, but yeah. All right, let's have a look. I'm gonna take my pen out, so just give me a second. Yeah, so we have interesting new moon conjunction with Pluto, which then T squares with the nodes and with Chiron. So I already saw, but dealing with the polarity challenges, healing polarity challenges, and then on a new moon, it's quite interesting because we have a Pluto involved here in Sag. So this to me, like, people are still coming in. I'm letting them in, so I'm getting a little distracted. Hang on a second. Okay. So we have that T square going on. So there's some type of challenge going on. And we can see Mars is not conjunct the new moon, but it's sort of like in that same area. And then we have Mercury in the Fucus. Then we also have Venus in Scorpio about to head into a Fucus. It's right on the cusp between a Fucus and Scorpio. And I recently saw this beautiful image in the morning because Venus is a morning star. You can see she's rising before the sun. So you can see here the sun is behind Venus. So Venus shines before the sun. And I was on this crazy sailing journey through the Everglades during the evening. And right at night, I saw this bright, shining object, which was Venus. And I saw Scorpio right there at the claws of Scorpio, and then Venus right there. It was a beautiful sight. So now she starts to head into a Fucus. She's in the galactic center. Mercury is there as well. Mercury's on the other side of the galactic center. It's in the Fucus, but it's actually right on top of the GC, and Venus is heading into it. So this is some interesting lineup because Mercury and Venus, these are the luminaries. They call, believe it or not, in ancient cosmology stories, they refer to both of these planets as Lucifer. Not because they're dark, because actually the name Lucifer is also the same as Prometheus. These are the bringers of light. So, and I had that experience in the darkest of the night. these two planets, because of their vicinity to the sun, they shine before the sun at sunrise. So during your darkest times, your darkest journeys, when you look to the east right before sunrise, there will be something shining, and that will be either Venus or Mercury, the bringers of light. So that was my experience. Was I had the roughest passage, through the darkest of times, and right out there in the east, I see Venus just rising up with Scorpio. It was beautiful. So we have that, which is creating a deep healing with the feminine, because you can see here it's trining on Chiron and a sextiling on the south node, which is in Virgo. So this is Sophia. So this is a Sophia energy. And hitting Venus, this is more feminine energy. Deep healing with the feminine is happening. Feminine ways of being. It's not just women. It's the feminine, the receiving energy, the love, the values, the cosmic connection to our cosmic values, our higher orders, because this is what the T square I was looking at kind of represents. It's hitting the new moon in Sag, which is again coming out of the light. Sag is known for the arrow that shoots through the darkness, heading into and through the darkness of winter, because it has to go, because the way it goes is through Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, then it rises again in Aries and Taurus. So this is spring. So this Sag goes through the galactic center, right? SGRA star, Sagittarius A is the pulsar here, comes through the darkness into the light. And then you have Pluto with the new moon doing its work. Then it's T-square with the nose, Chiron. So there's a challenge of the polarities. We're living in this Piscean age of polarities. So that's one thing we have to keep an eye out. Then next thing is we can see here we have this Neptune that's actually squaring on Mercury. So you have Neptune squares Mercury. So this could be possible cloudy vision. Because Neptune and Mercury are supposed to be channeling energy, but when there's squares, it can create a challenge of having these visions, or the visions can seem challenging, or the fact that Mercury is in the Fucus in the galactic center, it's information that it's too deep for us, so it can seem cloudy or too nebulous, because Neptune is a nebulous. It brings out the hidden, the unknown. Mercury in the Fucus is also the hidden, the unknown. So they're squaring each other. So there's a challenge in transmission that might be happening. This is the new moon. So setting new intentions and visions could be a little hard or maybe challenging. But then we have this Uranus is in Aries, so awakening to the new. And it's trining on the new moon. You see there's a trine to the new moon, Uranus, trined on the new moon in the sun conjunction. So this is awakening to the higher mind, because Sag represents the higher order of things in the teachings. So there's a big transmutation going on there, the T square and all that, challenging with Pluto there. And then Uranus is awakening to the higher. So this is for the higher good. All of these challenges are for the higher good. So this is what I'm kind of seeing. And then you can see these two are swapped. You have Jupiter in Aries, right? So Aries is ruled by Mars, and it's trine on Mars and Sag. So Sag is ruled by Jupiter. So they're dispositing each other. So that to me looks pretty good. That's like clear action and confidence in going through these kind of challenging times. This can present as, we can see through the dark, just keep on going. Even though the vision's cloudy, proceed as if, because we're heading towards the light. because the light bringers are in Ophiuchus, in the galactic center. This is kind of what the aim is. There'll be light there. Just go. And that reminds me of that journey I took. It was the first journey on this new boat that I have, that I went through the Gulf of Mexico, which I never sailed the Gulf of Mexico, so I don't know the waters there. It has an eerie feeling to it. And I went through the dark and the sunset. When the sun set, it was like, oh, there's nowhere to go after this. Like, we can only go in that direction. You can't even turn back because we can't get into the port that we left because we can't see. So there's only one way to go, and that's through the place. And we saw it slowly, Marco Island disappearing, the lights disappearing. It is suddenly there's like no lights anywhere. And then go through the dark, and then pew, the light bringer appears, Venus in Scorpio. So this is sort of like kind of represents the journey I just went through. So I can attest that going through the dark without seeing the light, knowing that the light will be there, is sort of the path that we have to take for this new moon. So that's what I see for the new moon. Now we'll move on to the full moon, but I wanted to see if you guys have any input or questions or saw something that I might have missed. So, yeah, you good? You ready for the next? So we all know new moon is for creating the intention, to your time to plant. We still have people coming in, yeah. So there's a time, that's the planting, right? That's the setting the foundation. So this is a pretty big teardown. So let's see, you have new moon. Now let's see what I wrote for the full moon. So now we're heading to the full moon on the 25th of January. So now that full moon, what does that look like? Well, Sun conjunct Pluto, and it's T square with the moon and Jupiter. This makes it quite interesting. Oh, hold on, someone's coming in. What did I write here? Necessary motion for growth challenge. I don't know what I wrote here. But anyway, what I saw, what I remember, the feeling was it's a necessary because Pluto is, especially it's in Sag, and then we have Sun in Capricorn. So this is the climb. Now this is the climb of trust through the dark times of winter. This is that. This is that. Yeah, this is that. That's why Capricorn is related to Saturn, which has like, it's just achievement. So this is like, we have to make it happen. Like, this is happening. And Jupiter in Aries loans a little bit of energy to that. It's just like, we're gonna break it through. And then Moon in Cancer is the gateway of souls. So there's a birth that's happening here. There's something that will come out of this. Because if you study the Scarabeus beetle and the relationship to Cancer and Egyptian cosmology, this is birth. And this is the dark portal to create. And Pluto, we all know Pluto is the dark shaman energies. And it sextiles Neptune, which we saw earlier was kind of cloudy visions. And it's again challenging, T-square, challenge. Like, there we go, we're challenged. Then there's another T-square with Chiron, Mars, and South Node, North Node. Before it was with Venus. But we can see Mars and Mercury are now conjunct. So it seems like there is some type of whatever. The way into this is through in peace, right? Because Mercury went through the galactic center. So received cosmic information. It went through a challenging time, the new moon, where it was square on Neptune. So it was like it needed to just keep going. And it had its time with Venus, the feminine. Now it has its time with Mars, the masculine. So the way into it is through it in peace, in harmony. Because when you balance the masculine and the feminine, this peace and harmony with knowledge of the intelligence, meaning Sag. Sag is the knowledge. It's the intelligence that will get you through the dark times of winter. And this, of course, attached to healing. So these are the squares. These are two squares. They're not a mystic square. It's like a weird kind of two squares. So this is what I see for the full moon. This is the culmination of all that energy. So this is, to me, seems like a major push to release during the times of these winter months to to bring forth a new growth. I know for me, I have my work cut out. So I don't know if you guys do, but this is the time. This is the time to run through this. So any questions on what I just pointed out? Yeah, we're good.
In other words, this is like a line in Star Wars, pretty much.
Star Wars what?
That's like a line in Star Wars. You know, the most famous line is, you don't know the power of the dark side, but
Yeah, right, yeah,
at this point in
yeah,
time, these nefarious forces are
yeah,
truly gathering, and then by that full moon, it's definitely gonna, rear its head. But when it comes to your personal um,
yeah,
placements, in a sense, you really gotta learn how to transmute that darkness, like for real, for
yeah,
real.
yeah. Very shaman type, very much like trusting in the light, trusting that the light bringers are doing its thing. Because yeah, like this part here where Venus and Mercury are now past the galactic center. That's the portal. So the light bringers, or and then they're with Mars. So this is like taking action and breaking through, and the way through it. This is like that's it. There's only one way to get there, through it. So, and it's that's what proves that you have what it takes to live in this new environment that you're creating. It's always challenging. Like, I think I wrote here, growth challenge, right? Like we all know growth doesn't come from comfort. Growth comes from the challenge. So I wonder what that is for most of us. So, uh, so let me just have a look at some transits too. Um, the lunar cycles mapped it all out pretty much. Let's see, is this? Yeah, we kind of have that. Let me put my mouse back here. These are just like the 0 degrees of orbs of all the kind of aspects we went over. So yeah, Mercury trine North Node, Saturn square Venus. This is the Sun. This is the T squared Sun Chiron. So these are all the dates where things are going to be heightened. So we're kind of I ran it since the first, so we're kind of in this zone right now. This is the Mercury um, square Neptune right now. So this is why we could be kind of hearing this and kind of being like, well, what exactly, is going on? And the Saturn Mars is an interesting energy. Saturn Mars always creates, even if it's a good aspect, always creates this like not sure of timing because Saturn is always about timing and Mars is about action, and these two have to cooperate. But being that it's a sextile, it loans a little bit more to the energy of cooperation, of the energy and the time to use it. So this is happening also right about now, up until the new moon. And this is that trine with Sun, with the new moon and Uranus, awakening to the new. It's coming in. So I would say this is an interesting energy to work with. The Mars Saturn, because it's timing the push. the contractions, timing your contractions, right? Because Saturn is the time, the pulses. So let's see. This is an interesting time to harness too. Is when the Sun goes exact conjunct with Pluto. What date is that? And I'm moving January 20th. Because that was part of the new full moon. This could be a good time to really harness that energy of release and because Pluto is the dark force of completion that will allow for the new to birth. So this could be a good time for right before that full moon of like the final push towards things that are not serving and they have to go and stuff like that. So Uranus goes direct on what date is that showing up? January 27th, right after the full moon. That's that's a powerful time as well. It's in Aries. It was almost at the tip of Taurus. I don't know if you guys remember, and then it went back into Aries. So we got a chance to redo where we want to settle. And that's one of my challenges of where do I want to settle? Because I've been having a really challenging time on the water. I'm 50 now. I'm not 30 like I used to be when I had my other big ocean-going boat. So I'm definitely feeling the challenge of like, oh, wait a second. This is not as as easy as it used to be. Even though I still have my vital energy, I'm 50, so I can feel it. I have my Chiron return and all that stuff going on. So I'm also in that mode here. Like, whoa, where am I gonna be taking action? Where's my new world gonna be? So um, yeah, this so just yeah, that's an interesting time. I'm also gonna look at that. It's right after the full moon. So this is January. So after the full moon is wow, it's actually very active after the full moon. Um, this Mercury and Uranus is always an interesting transit because that's information, really fast information. Uranus and Aries, Mercury's in Sag with Mars. So this could be a jolt of information on the 20s, is that 28th through, no, 28th, 29th, yeah. So
Yeah,
pay
pretty
attention.
much.
Say it again?
No, I said pretty much 28, 29.
Yeah, 28th, 29th is that. Yeah, so if you don't feel anything on the full moon of a culmination, I would wait till Uranus goes direct. So we have that 26th. So 26th throughout the 29th, those 3 days. Interesting, 3 days of 3 days of resurrection. In January, I would wait. T. So if the full moon doesn't really show up, I would wait till these 26 through 28. I would give that a I would give that some patience. So to kind of come to because that Mercury and Neptune did create some fog. So you have to pay attention to that fog. That was in the new moon, but still, that still carries. So I think that's it, guys, for the month. So, so what do you think? Any questions? Any insight? Or are you just holding on? Hold on.
Is there, I can't really see it. Is there T squares in there? What you have?
Yeah.
Which ones are they hitting?
Oh, the T squares, these here for the full moon.
Yeah.
Um, I'm moving my camera around. Hang on. This was the nodes with Mercury, the nodes with Mars. Yeah, the nodes with Mars and Chiron. So healing the masculine, and before that, for the new moon, it was with Venus. Then this one here is with Jupiter in Aries, Moon in Cancer, Sun, Pluto. So Sun in Capricorn and Pluto in Sag. I just want to see something. Is this Jupiter squares? Yeah, it squares, yeah, in the mid, well, yeah, and Sun. So that's that. And then the new moon, oops, sorry. The new moon one, that big T square, yeah, was with Sun, Mars. Well, no, not Sun, Mars. It was just with Mars, Mars, Mercury, and oh, with the new moon. No, it wasn't with Mars. It was the new moon and the nodes. Yeah, new moon and the nodes with Chiron. And then I thought I saw Venus in here. Venus was trine on Chiron. So the healing and the nodes. Trine, yeah, trine and then sextile the south node. So that was that. Cool.
So
And there we go.
time for what they call what they call like sit down talks. Like if a person
Yeah,
who is cool, like cool and collected, this would be
yeah.
a good time for them to just sit down and listen to other people. Because
Mhm,
as the time's going by, leading into that and a little bit after it, it's like a lot of people are already in a mind frame of certain type of traumas, and then with a lot of us moving into
mhm,
certain different mental realms, that
mhm.
I think that would be a real good time to like talk it out. Like some people just need to talk, and then others need to just literally listen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, with Mercury there and the Fucus. Yeah, big, deep cosmic resonance right there. So yeah, it's like right in the galactic center. It's like let's see, 1111. That's interesting number as well, you know. Galactic center is 11 degrees of Fucus. Mercury is like right in that galactic center. So yeah, that's what you said. Yeah, that's what you see. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And it's conjunct Mars, action in talk, action in communication. We remember it was square on that Mercury, Pluto. Oh, so I blew that up. All right. Yeah. Cool, guys. All right. So, yeah, I'm going to stop sharing and, yeah. Is there anybody want to add anything or, yeah, we're good?
The last thing I
Okay.
want to say is a good movie to watch. That kind of like
Mm-hmm.
what I seen. If
Mm-hmm.
you never seen it, it's called Final Fantasy: The Spirit Within. That would be a good movie to watch leading up to
Okay.
this. Yeah.
I need a good movie. Yeah. No doubt. Wow. Okay, cool, man. All right, guys. Super new learner. Oh, Jenny. Yeah, Jenny. Whatever. Just so. Yeah. Just yeah. That's fine. Just absorb.
Same here. I'm pretty new to it. So a lot of times when you guys say stuff like work with this energy, I'm not quite sure what that means. And then I'm not quite sure because I've been going through some serious losses this like over the past month. I've lost like 4 people.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, like one committed suicide yesterday. And
Oof.
so I'm just and I like so everything I've read, every time I listen to you guys, you always talk about like a fucus is this healing energy, but I'm like, I'm beginning to be afraid of a fucus. So I don't,
Oh,
like
yeah. I understand that. Wow.
yeah, yeah. So
Oof.
and I don't know what was going on yesterday. Um and I'm
Yeah.
sure and I know enough to know that you guys always say like it depends on what was in that person's natal chart, but
Yeah.
um yeah, a fucus is starting to scare me. I don't know if that's the way it should be or not, or if, it doesn't
Yeah.
feel
I understand. Yeah. Shoot. Pluto.
yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. That's a tough one. Yeah. Yeah. It definitely depends where what they have. I mean, it could be even involved with like Mercury. That I think it was, what was it, a square with Mercury and Neptune, which is creating mixed mixed messages or unseen messages, and I wonder sometimes how all this stuff where these kind of archon forces are kind of understanding these cosmic alignments and hijacking the mixed message stuff
Mm.
and making people a little crazy. I kind of question a lot of things like that. And I don't know how deep that type of stuff works or how individualized it is, but there are some people that they go from dark to light in a matter of a few days, suicidal to enjoying life. It's like, where is that seesaw?
Yeah.
You know?
But so I don't know, like, if there's like certain planet, like, when certain planets are transiting,
Mhm.
is that a time to kind of look for stuff like that? Like, I know Pluto is supposed to be like a big one.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's hard if even if there's like a Chiron situation, Chiron squares with Pluto, where Pluto or Pluto squares where Chiron could trigger deep wounds.
Well, the
Um,
one yesterday, definitely there was like a communication thing. There was an argument, and it wasn't that big of an argument, but then he took his life. So
yeah,
yeah, so it could have
yeah.
been.
That's a tough one. Man.
Yeah,
Daughter's boyfriend took it last year. I get it how it's just like, wait, how did this just happen? Like,
yeah,
what?
like, yeah. You just want to kind of like back up and like wait, like
Yeah, like, what? Yeah,
And,
but
but it's usually never, it's usually a culmination of the buildup of a lot of stuff going on, And to pinpoint to one thing, it's hard, it's not very,
yeah,
usually, it's not usually just something, especially if it's a small, something that just broke out yet the other day.
yeah.
Chances are there's probably a buildup. I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
yeah, yeah. These are
It,
challenging times for sure.
it makes it a little scary though, because it's like how much. Because I'm one of those people. When I start learning something, like I just dig in and I want to know everything, and that's kind of where I am right now with astrology. But then it's like, God, I don't even know how
Careful
much
with
do I really even know. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, well, I wouldn't get scared, and sometimes you can't answer everything with astrology because humans have free will.
mhm,
You don't understand what's influencing this person. It's very easy these days, especially to knock someone out of their cosmic connection.
mhm,
So, I work very hard on my cosmic connection, but I was just realizing just for a while, if maybe even some of it's like I haven't taken an astrophotograph in about a year because the clouds are that covered. So,
yeah,
and for me, that was my jam. Like I would stay out all night, either with my telescope or just my other Nikon camera, and I would just photograph and have these conversations. And I haven't. I've supplemented that. Like I've been sailing and I've been out at night and I've been in some dark skies and I've been having times with Sirius. Like I've actually, most of you might not see this, but you go to a really dark sky and you look at Sirius, he actually is green.
Mm.
It's that
wow,
blue
So,
changes. And you don't see it from here, from like a city or whatever. It's just white, bright star. But yeah, so then when you start having these, like, I've had those experiences, it's been amazing, but I've felt disconnected a little bit because of the astrophotography. I haven't been seeing it. So can you imagine most of humanity who's not even aware, putting effort into identifying this stuff and
God.
then just it's being cut and just being like, you know?
yeah. It's so funny you mentioned that because I live in the US, but I'm not in the US right now. I'm in Central America, and I was looking up at, and I was so wanting to get out because I was like, I'm so like, I remember how the sky used to look, right?
Yeah.
I'm old enough to remember that. And I was looking out today and I was like, but even here, it just doesn't look the same. You know,
Yeah, I
like,
know it's
yeah,
pollution
it's,
everywhere.
And
yeah.
dark.
Do any of you guys have any? Because I'm real confused too on the, and I try to really just kind of stick to the astrologers that do the true sidereal.
Mhm.
And so I know there's this big thing right now around Pluto return. The US's Pluto return.
Yeah. Mhm.
I'm interested, you know, in like, because if it's in Aquarius, then from what I understand, that's supposed to be a good thing. But if it's in Capricorn, it's not. Like, so can you guys add any kind of flavor to that for me?
Yeah. Wow, you just brought up a good question. Yeah, I was gonna do that because I think it's in July, right? But still, let's I don't know if I'm not, am I sharing screen? Um, Remind me, it's 1772,
That was in
right?
March.
Huh?
I thought it was connected in March.
Wait, hold on a second. I might have had this done already. I think it's July 4th, right? Because I was gonna like kind of work with this later, but let's look at it. It's not July 4th, 17, 1770.
Somebody mentioned the date April the 8th.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for what you're
Uh,
looking at right now.
April 8th. Why April 8th? Do you know?
Um, it has to do with Chiron as well.
Oh, let's have a look. Well, actually, let me share my screen. I'll show you guys.
April 11th as well. That's when Mars and Saturn go conjunct.
Uh-huh. Hang on, now my computer froze, of course. I'm trying to get. Okay, let me share screen. Yeah. Um, Hang on, guys. Yeah, of course. Here we go. So, am I sharing screen or am I not sharing screen?
You're not.
Not.
I have it here. Something about a new energy and an energy there being an energy convergence in across the ecliptic. Well,
Hold on, I'm gonna.
across,
Everybody
excuse
mute
me,
yourself.
not the
About one
ecliptic,
person.
but in the United States. And
Mm-hmm.
it's the date is April 24th,
Mm-hmm.
2024. And a lady dropped into my work to give me this information. It was really strange.
Well,
Uh,
I'm able to share. Something is happening here. So maybe I'm not supposed to look at it. I can't even touch anything on my screen right now.
ooh, I could feel that. Just let it
Yeah,
be, man.
yeah, just gotta let it be.
Yeah.
But in any
It's
case, it is a return. People they misunderstood it because there wasn't tropical astrology doesn't account for precession. So they were saying the Pluto return for America is the 2022, but it's actually 2024. What date? I don't know. April? Is it April? Is it July? But in any case, Pluto is a slow-moving planet. So it's pretty much a slow creep up to this return. And maybe that's what we're working towards, letting go of what America is. I don't know.
It's more so everything's gonna repeat itself. Like if everybody literally remembers what happened during from March moving on until it went
Mhm,
into retrograde, it's literally going everything that we've seen from the news, from weather to people going far left with things is it's truly going to repeat itself, which is like for me it's interesting. I'm excited, but not excited for people who are considered the harvest in a sense
mhm,
because Pluto, Jupiter, as
mhm,
I was saying, like in the beginning of the Rempet, the Egyptian New Year, with
mhm,
Jupiter being the one that herald the new year, it's
mhm.
it's going to be a very